Hello and good evening. My name is Sam Liebert, and I'm Senior Risk Analyst for the City of Goodness. Um, so, to start tonight, a little bit of the background. The City of Goodness has benefited for a long time from cheap garbage and trash pickup for many years. But recently, the city's solid waste utility staff have been concerned that too much trash was being thrown out at such a cheap rate, and so we implemented a new rate system where residents were charged based on the amount of weight they were throwing out. As you may know, the city has run out of space at our own landfills, and we now are looking for other alternatives moving forward. We did work with the City of Expensive Solutions, but those costs have skyrocketed to 50% to the residents. We've also made recently aware that the City of Healthy Lifestyle is actually looking for more customers. They have their own landfills, and this would be a cheaper alternative. So right now we have two proposals on the table. One is to continue to outsource services to another city, or also looking at possibly building an incinerator here in the city and burning our trash instead of putting it into a landfill. So now we'll move on to the analysis part of my discussion for this evening. So right now, there's many risks facing the city. They're many and varied. But with the two options on the table, it does limit our options, and there is no quote unquote perfect option either way. Um, so option one, by continuing to outsource trash and garbage to another community, we do risk losing control. Whenever a community outsources services, we do lose some control over quality, quality of the pickup services, timeliness of the drivers, quality of the drivers, quality of the equipment, and possibly control of cost, inevitably. With the City of Expensive Solutions costing the average resident 50% more than what they were being charged previously, it does seem like an obvious choice to not continue with them. But even if we do switch to a community with cost savings initially, we may actually pay more further down the road. We could be held hostage to costs thrust upon us and have very little opportunity to get out of an agreement and simply be stuck with the costs that are demanded of us. According to themunicipal.com, which is a website where a lot of municipal leaders and stakeholders get and share information, Chris Knight, who is the waste management director and safety manager for the city of Stillwater, said that when the trash services are internal, the powers that be are able to take care of any issue citizens may call out. When a private company or service handles this service, they don't have as much control when issues arise. So those are some things to consider with the privatization. Risk two that's been floated by some and the mayor are the option is to build an incinerator. So instead of dumping our trash, we would simply be burning all of our trash. But recently, local environmentalists have claimed that an incinerator would release dangerous levels of nitrogen oxides into the air, which has raised some concern and alarm among the public and at large. Some pros to an incinerator would be that we would no longer need a landfill, so that would lower maintenance and staffing costs. We'd also continue to have lower overhead costs because we wouldn't have to haul trash to another community or deposit our trash at another landfill. There would also be there could be though a large initial capital cost setup on the front end to purchase and build the incinerator, but these costs could be borrowed or bonded out and depreciated and paid over time. Projects like this sometimes have been sort of split over 10 or 20 years in some instances. Um, Although, according to the Queensland Government Health Department website, there are the cons of having elevated levels of nitrogen oxide can cause damage to the human respiratory tract and increase a person's vulnerability to and the severity of respiratory infections and asthma. Long-term exposure to high levels of nitrogen dioxide can also cause chronic lung disease, and it may also affect the senses, for example, by reducing a person's ability to smell an odor. High levels also are harmful to vegetation, damaging foliage, decreasing growth of and reducing crop yields, which are all pretty bad things. So obviously, this option could cause severe health problems to our residents long term and wouldn't be an option likely supported by the community. Staff's proposal for myself and staff is, and like we stated earlier, there is no perfect solution here. But what is the most logical one the one that most people can live with, and sort of a middle ground that appeases as many people as possible without causing as much immediate and long-term harm. So based on the information presented to my team and myself, our recommendation is to contract with the City of Healthy Lifestyle for the disposal of our trash. However, our recommendation, though, is to also keep our own city trucks, keep our own city employees, and any other equipment associated with the operation of trash pickup to keep that under our control. It could be possible to hire the other city's public work employees or even a private hauler, which could bring down initially some monetary costs. So it would have some sort of some savings up front. But in the long run, we believe we'd lose control over the quality of the service, customer service, drivers, equipment, etc. And however, we would see savings by using their landfill to dispose of our trash. Also, we believe that some of the savings we will see by leaving the city of Expensive Solutions, we could also begin to build up a capital fund over time for any future alternative plans, or sort of as a contingency fund. So if things were to change in the future with the City of Healthy Lifestyle, or maybe perhaps even at some point technology were to come around where an incinerator could burn trash, but sort of capture that carbon dioxide for a clean burn so that those chemicals were not getting out and into the air. So our conclusion in the end is, what should the City of Goodness do in regards to the trash problem? Do we continue the expensive outsourced solution or find a cheaper outsourcing solution while also trying to maintain some control? The consequences of doing nothing would be catastrophic. Costs would continue to skyrocket. We would be at the whim of another community and could lose control of our trash sanitation services for years to come. And this would not be advisable or a prudent use of taxpayer dollars, in our opinion. So in conclusion, I would strongly urge the City Council to contract with the City of Healthy Lifestyle for the disposal of our trash. And our recommendation is to keep our equipment, our garbage truck, our employees, and other equipment under our control so that we can maintain some semblance of quality control over the services that are delivered to our residents and taxpayers. So thank you for your time this evening. Thank you for your service to our community. And as always, I can be reached by email or phone if you have any additional follow-up questions. Thank you for your time.